Welcome to our first animation class. So when you open up your iPad, it probably looks something like this, and we need to open up the app that we're going to use. So you want to come right here down at the bottom where it's the Procreate app. If it's not located here, it might be located up here somewhere. So go ahead and tap that and open it. This opens up the gallery, and in the gallery you'll see all kinds of different things, or you may not see anything at all if this is a brand new iPad. So what we want to do is we can either choose to click the plus sign to open up a new canvas, or if we have a stack that we've already started, which you can see here that I have, I can open up that stack. And then go to the plus sign, and you want to choose screen size. Once it opens, we're going to take our fingers and we're going to smush and turn. So we're going to smush and turn, because this is portrait and we do not want portrait, we want landscape. And so then just adjust the canvas to what makes you comfortable. Then we're going to add a background color to our canvas here. So go up to the layers, it is the double squares. Go down to where it says background color and tap there. Now this is the hue. This changes the hue, okay, or changes the color. And then this circle here changes the saturation. So the saturation could be a light orange, it could be a darker orange, it could be really dark orange, or a grayish orange. For true saturation, for it to be a true orange that you've picked here, you go to about this area right here, almost like a clock, you know, it's on the 1 right there. So that's where you'd want to go. But I do not want orange as my color, so I'm going to move it down to a blue color here. Tap the layers again, and now we're going to go to layer 1. So on layer 1, we are going to add an overlay. So what we want to do is we want to go up here to the brushes. This is the brushes here. And then these are all the different types of brushes that are in Procreate, and you'll see some of mine have more brushes than what you'll see on yours, and that's because I have purchased or created my own brushes. So we want to go down to painting, which is right here, and then we want to choose stucco. So I've done that. Now I want to choose a color. So I'm going to try a little darker blue, and you can see how that changes there. And then I'm going to come over to the brush and make sure the brush size is at 40%. And then I'm going to lightly go back and forth until I fill up the whole page. And I missed a little bit right there. Okay, now it's time to set up our animation. So what we want to do is we want to go up to the wrench, which is also the actions. I like to call it the wrench, but it's the actions. We want to go there. Then we want to tap on canvas. Once we're in canvas, we're going to go down to animation assist and turn that on. When that turns on, down here at the bottom, you can see a bar that has different things in it. So we want this to stay our background. So the way that we do that is we tap on it and we choose background, just like that. Now, up here, these are called layers, but once we start using the animation, each one that's added is going to be called a frame. So down here at the bottom, let's go ahead and go and touch add frame. And so you'll see it added a frame here. And you'll know what frame you're on by the blue line down here. If you go up here at the layers, you'll see here's your first frame. So if I switch back and forth, it will move the blue down here at the bottom. So we're on our first frame, and now we want to write our name. So we're going to go back up to the brushes, and we're going to go down to ink, or inking right here, and we're going to go to marker. Go ahead and choose that. Then we're going to come up to the color, and we're going to change the color to white. Now if you do not see white down here at all, you can double tap in the white area and it will make a pure white for you. So now we're going to come in and we're going to write our name out. You can do it in print or cursive. It's totally up to you. I'm going to write my name. Don't like that. So I do a 2-finger tap to undo. A 3-finger tap. 3-finger tap brings it back. 2 fingers undoes. So 3-finger tap brings it back. The 2-finger is undo. So I'm going to go ahead and write my name here. And there we go. Now if you notice it's too far off to one side, so I'm going to come up here to the arrow, tap the arrow, and make sure I touch outside of this dashed box to move it to where I want it to go. And I'm going to see where the cross, you can see the cross lines there, and now it's centered for me. And then I go back to the arrow, which is the transition, and turn it off. So I'm going to need to be able to see, because I'm going to be tracing over this over and over again. So I'm going to make sure to come down here to settings, and I'm going to choose onion skin opacity, and I'm going to turn that down to about, let's do 8%. Okay, and I'm going to do the onion skin color, and I'm going to change it to red. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a frame. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, I turned my opacity down too far, but now I can see where I need to write, and so I'm going to trace over it. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to trace, and you don't have to get exactly on what you wrote, because the great thing is if you're off a little bit, that's what helps with the wiggle process. I'm going to add a frame again. Now I'm going to go back, write my name again, and I'm going to add a frame again. And I'm going to do this about 4 or 5 times. Awesome, I have it 4. I think I'll do one more time. Okay, so now we're going to try it out. So we're going to come down here to the play button. And you notice the background doesn't change, right? And that's because we saved the background to be the same. For each slide or each frame, it's showing the background. However, this is wiggling way too much. So I'm going to come to settings. And I am going to come here where it says frames per second. And I'm going to slow it down a little bit. I'm going to go to about a 4. I think that looks really good. Now I'm ready to save it. So you go up to the wrench, go to share, and you're going to share it as an animated GIF. And here, if you decide you want to speed it up a little bit, you can do that here. I would not adjust any of these right now unless you had some reason to, but for this particular class you do not. So I would go ahead and hit export, and then you can save it to your Google Drive or to whatever drive you're using at the time. Now a lot of times when we are wanting to upload to a web or sometimes Facebook or Instagram, it may say this file is too big. So what we can do is we can shrink it. Now before we shrink it, we want to make sure to keep the original. So for this, I'm going to write original. Okay? And then I'm going to swipe to the left with my finger here, and I'm going to choose duplicate, and then choose the new copy. Oop, I meant to change the name here. And I'm going to call this one smaller. Or you could say small, or whatever you'd like to title it. Okay, so this is the one I'm going to shrink, the one that says small. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. I'm going to go to the wrench. I'm going to touch canvas. I'm going to go crop and resize. And then I'm going to come over to settings. And so a good size is usually 1,000 pixels. So what I want to do here is make sure that I have resample canvas turned on. So I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to tap here to the pixels and I'm going to type in 1,000. If it doesn't automatically adjust the number here on the right hand side, then you need to change this option. You need to tap here and change this option so that it will change it. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to say done. And now this one is now a smaller size that will be easier for you to load up to a website, Instagram, Facebook, whatever choice you're wanting to upload it to. And that is our first animation class.